You know, as we grow spiritually, our past lives, including parts of the one that we're living, because we see that as we grow spiritually, that which we held on to 10 years ago, we now see we need to let go of. External things, relationships, this is what we're doing with our consciousness, with our mind. We used to love to have a beer with dinner. Now we don't. And for a while, people will say, I've heard it many times, they'll move into the community, but I still want to go out and have a glass of wine occasionally. And I still like to play with my friends. Absolutely, do it. What am I going to do, say no? I mean, of course. And then they'll come back to me. Not very much longer. It's happened many times since I've been here. You know, I just no longer want to drink that wine. Or I don't like being in those bars where those friends go. Or suddenly, that music that I loved last year, I can't be near it anymore. Because as we grow, when we're sincere and we're growing, parts of our life just either fall away or we have to extricate ourselves. When we're extricating ourselves, it's very difficult. And in fact, even those pieces that have to fall away. Our language becomes different with certain people. We can no longer, we're just not speaking the same language. We don't like doing the same things. You know, for years, I can't remember now, but let me say 15 years. Every single year, I went to Mexico with 2 friends. Every year, we did it. It was a thing. It was a week of the year. And we kept moving further and further south down the coast to be away from the crowds. We discovered places that then got to be literally like some of the most highly visited places in the world, but we were there before anybody was there. And as soon as the Europeans and other Americans started coming, we would leave. They were fabulous trips, fabulous. Wake up in the morning, I would do a long meditation, they would do yoga, then just talking, reading books, sharing. And then some years ago now, I had to say to them, I can't go anymore. They were devastated. I said, you two can still go. But of course, I knew this. They were not going to want to go if I wasn't there. It was a threesome. And I was an important piece in that. And when you take away that energy, a lot changed. Neither of them are on a spiritual path, but they both felt the energy that I brought. And it was a huge part of the trip. But I just couldn't do that anymore. Every place we went was becoming more popular, but I said, you know, I'm with you 5 days, and we never, ever once say the word God. I don't want to spend 5 days like that anymore. And you don't want to talk about God. I don't need you to talk about God, but I can't be with you. And I could tell you many, many more stories, my own and others, where relationships that are valued, we have to either sever it completely or change the relationship so much that people are hurt. Yet, because the question says, I felt it in my heart to be true and I sought spiritual guidance, I'm going to assume that was a good decision. And if I assume that, then I have to say, just like I was just saying with this question to David, nobody ever told us the spiritual path was easy. If it's easy, we are not making progress. That we have been told. If it's too easy, we're not making progress. So we have to, and this is another thing that I've said, that I really feel it's an image, but I feel it. We have lived millions of lives. Those things that we're holding on to that are hard, They have such a good grip on us. The things that were easy to let go of, we let go of them a long time ago. That vritti that still is tugging us like that little whirlpool of energy, it's really dug in there. And it's not going to be simple when you think of it as a stream. The amount of water that you would have to bring, it would have to be huge rainfalls. The river would really have to expand and take that whirlpool with it. Not a little trickle during a drought. It's not going to work. That's what we are all up against, because we are highly evolved souls. Most of you have heard me say it, but I'll keep saying it. We wouldn't be here if we weren't. Remember what Master said. It takes very, very, very good karma, his words, to even want to know God. Never mind to be dedicating our lives to it. To be here on a Saturday morning. This took effort. It took energy. It takes a lot to tune in this way. You could easily say, I've heard Shanti speak so many times, or blah, blah, blah. I'm going to know everything she says, I'm already going to know. And you do. You actually do. But just as Pooja was saying, raises our energy, we take it in deeper, and we see that there is so much, the human heart will feel so much pain along the way. If we stop and give into that pain, even when our soul is calling us to keep moving forward, then we're just standing still and sometimes losing ground. And if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. But if we can bear the pain, and, you know, it's like pulling a bandage off that's been on for a long time. It hurts for a few moments, and then the wound can heal, because now it's time to be exposed to the air, to something other. Doesn't need to be covered anymore. I mean, there's so many analogies for it, but it's all true. Pain does not make something wrong. Sometimes we have to let friendships go. That's what I want to say to who asked that question. And if you've done that and you can't live with it, then you need to go back and find that friend again and try it again. It's just, you know, we're not here to torture ourselves. So